Hello, everybody. This is Angie Oldenburg coming to you from Eau Claire, Wisconsin, US. And I am recording this presentation today because as you're watching it right now, I will be on vacation. Um, so I will try to respond to comments and questions along the way when I'm able to have internet connection. So um, I am going to be using the Fright Night bundle again. If you saw my live presentation from earlier in the week, I used that for my card that we did that night and an alternative card. And so I continued using that for this non-card project as well. I, of course, like most of us, like to get the most out of stamp sets and bundles as I can. So I'm not showing you the final project yet because I am going to just do a portion of it and then kind of put it all together at the end, and you can see the finished product. So again, we're using the Fright Night stamp set and the dies, actually most of the dies except for this little guy, in this project today. And it's going to be a fun one. Hopefully you like it. And hopefully this recording sounds okay and everything. It's the first time I've actually done a QuickTime movie on my laptop, so we're going to give this one a go. All right, let me move some of this stuff out of the way and we'll get started. I'm just going to be doing, well, I'll tell you what I'm doing first. I'm going to be doing a banner, and so I'm just going to be doing one of the tags of the banner, and then we're going to assemble it at the end. The other dies I'm using, I'm going to show you these two. This is the party alphabet dies. There's a little bit of a glare there. I'll open it up here. So it's got alphabet pieces, also appropriate for other languages in there. So that's a nice alphabet set. I actually just got it and I love it already. So I can see lots of uses for that one. Okay, so we're just going to use, sorry that my focus is coming in and out. It's because of that light above me here. I will show you the color palette we're using, kind of Halloween colors. We're going to do a Halloween banner. So these are the colors. And like I said, we're only going to do one of the tags today on camera. And basically all you're going to need to do is repeat for all the different tags of the banner. So you'll understand as I go about the day here. So the stamp set I'm using for this is the background stamp of the stamp set, not the Valentine. Wow, goodness, not the Halloween, the Fright Night one. I'm using this one. This is one too that doesn't have to be Halloween, obviously. It can be for any kind of a background. And we're going to do a tag in orange for this sample. This paper is a half of an 8.5 by 11 sheet, and I did measure the die that we're going to use. And I think it will also work on a half sheet of the paper from the UK. If my measurements are still right for an A4, this is just barely gonna fit on a half sheet of paper for you guys too. So, or actually it's the smaller of the two dies that we're gonna be cutting with. So that's the one we're gonna be doing. So anyway, here we go. Orange, pumpkin pie, ink it up. These are solid stamps. There is some, it's kind of an irregular image, so it's not gonna be horrible if the ink is kind of a little uneven. And my ink pad is really wet and it still stamped pretty decently. I want to get rid of these little lines from the edge of the ink pad if I can help it, but okay. We'll get that put down. Let it soak in a bit. See, it's a little blotchy, but you know what? When we're doing Halloween stuff, it really doesn't matter because it's it's kind of part of the decor at that point. So we'll cover this up, and Actually, we would normally then take this over to the stamp cut and emboss and cut this out. But since that gets noisy and stuff on camera, I'm not going to do that today. And I actually have another one that's already cut out. And it's not an orange one, it's a purple one. So let me pull that in. So that's my gorgeous grape version. And so the other thing I did was, so this is the smaller die, and then the larger die I cut out with a basic gray layer. So the nice part about this set is these layer right on top of each other, so you can do a nice layering look for a card or a banner or whatever you would want to use it for. Has that nice framed edge around there. Okay, so I already cut this out, I already cut this out. I'm going to glue this on. These individual tags or little banner pieces go together pretty quickly, but if you're making a big banner, then it might take you a little longer, depending on how many letters. Oh, my glue's getting a little towards the end here. And I'll just, again, sorry for that reflection on that ring light. Try to get it as close to the middle as I can when I'm looking for it from a ways away. Nice thing about glue, you can move it a little bit before it sticks too solidly. So that's our pieces. The nice thing about this stamp also, you get that nice white border around it when you die cut it out. So it's kind of, it makes it really look finished. Okay, so that's the piece, the main piece. And then the other pieces that come in this die set, there's these spider webs and then this little spider. So I actually cut those out ahead of time. So I've got a piece of spider web and a couple spiders. And then I also, the greetings that come in here match with the die. And where did that go? Let me look on my cut and emboss. Oh goodness, it's around here somewhere. I'm missing the little banner for the words, so it's a good thing I already have it cut out. So the one I'm doing for this one is the eat, drink, and be scary. So I'll cut that out already. I like the little detail here along the edge. Let me see if that'll focus a little bit. It's hard to see. Yeah, darn it, it's going to be hard to see. So hopefully as I put things together, you'll be able to see that. It's just a little bit too bright for some, well, let me see if it'll do that. No, sorry about that. So this is there's a little cutout there, so it looks like a folded piece of paper, a banner. And then what I did to stick this down, now certainly if you're doing many of these little panels and cutting out lots of these pieces and lots of the spiders, what I would do is put it on adhesive sheets. For this, I just am going to put down a little glue on my silicone mat, and then with a little sponge. You can tell I've been doing this all day today, doing the other one, so just gonna kind of add it here and then grab my, well goodness, where are all of my tools? Seem to be missing all of a sudden. I have a tweezer somewhere. Let's see. And I alternated some of these webs, you know, coming down from one side to the other, or, you know, whatever direction you want them to come from. And initially I thought I would cut them off, but it looks kind of cool when the edge is hanging over the edge of the tag actually. So I'm just going to leave that. And then we're going to do the same thing with the spiders. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do something different with the spiders. Sorry about that. So I'm going to move this out of the way. And then I'm going to bring in my black. This is the perfect project for black dimensionals because you won't be able to see them like you would the white ones behind. And these spiders are pretty tiny. Sorry, my screen on my laptop just went dark, so I need to make sure I was still filming. So I'm just cutting really little, tiny little strips of these dimensionals. So they're pretty small, just to go on the back side of the little spider body. And then they'll be punched up a little bit, give it a little bit of dimension. So see if we can do this on the camera so you can see what I'm doing. And with the black, you can barely see where they're at. And then we're going to hold on putting that down because I'm going to put the words down too, and kind of have it evenly spaced. So that one out of the way. I really wish I could be doing this live. Recording is not my favorite thing to do, so okay. So then I'm just going to kind of get a ballpark of where I'm going to put these things. I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back side of the little banner here too. And you could use the larger dimensionals for the back side of the banner if you wanted, but this just happens to be the ones I have in my hand. All right. My fingers seem to never work when I'm being filmed, so that's the way it goes. All right, well, I hope you guys are all enjoying the event so far. All right, so this is gonna go kind of right there, and then we're gonna put a little spider right there, and a little spider maybe right there hanging over the top of the banner, and then our tag is done. So and the bigger ones are sitting right there. You guys probably saw that when I was saying that, didn't you? Okay, anyway, I'm gonna pull in the other panels of the banner. Oh, actually, I'm gonna do one other thing first. So here's another one that I made that I don't have like in the banner yet. So as you can see, it's a different color. All those colors I listed off are gonna be like alternating in this banner. So this is the other one that I've done. What I do when I'm trying to punch holes for a banner so that they're all uniform, certainly you could use, there's this little punch here, but that hole is pretty tiny. It's probably good for tags if you're going to make just a gift tag or something, or put some string in it for some decoration. But to actually make a banner out of it, I wanted a little bit bigger hole in there. So I pulled out a really old tool that we used to have at Stampin' Up. I think you can still buy them places, I don't know. But you can certainly just use a regular office punch. But this is a crocodile from many years ago, and I use that to punch my holes. So what I do is I do one where I want the hole to be, and so that they're all in the same place, I line them up and I turn it over so I can see where the hole is, and then I use whatever punch I'm using, and probably aren't going to be able to see this, but I need to see it so that I know where the hole is. Probably can't see it, but I lined it right up, and then you can punch right through the next layer so that they're in the same place for each one, and they're not going to be uneven. So that's my little trick on how I do holes when I'm doing a banner. And then I look at it and it looks like it's a little off center, so that can happen too when I'm when I'm on camera and I can't get things lined up correctly. So in any case, that is the one that we did together. And then I'm gonna show you the rest of the pieces that I did earlier, because doing the whole thing on camera would be a lot. Oh, before I do that, let me bring the bling in. These are Shimmer Star Foam stickers. These are online exclusive. Both of the Halloween bundles are online exclusives. I should have told you that initially. This is actually from the other Halloween bundle, but obviously it works fine because it's still Halloween-y sorts of colors. So let me grab, I use my take your pick tool. Let's do white stars. Oops. And I just, these are foam. So if you pull them too hard, you're gonna pull the foam apart. So just kind of get something underneath it to kind of lift it off of the page, and then they stay together fine. But if you try to push them or smoosh them too much, they might come apart a little bit. So they're more of a soft embellishment than some of our like pearls and that sort of stuff, enamel sorts of things. Let's see, let's do a medium-sized one. Just to add a little bit of sparkle. And then we'll put that back in there, put that away. Okay, so there's 2 tags, and then let me pull the rest of the banner in here. So I'm going to move these out of the way just temporarily so I can spread this out a little bit. And I'm going to show you how I made this string here that we're going to be hanging it on, because it does really kind of look like a spider web. Okay, so I did a spooky banner. So that's what I did, and then I was planning on putting either the eek on this end or the eat, drink, and be scary on this end. Gosh, I don't know which one to put on there. And it's okay to have an extra. I also thought about putting this in the middle, but then the spooky is separated. So I think maybe for the colors, I'll put the eek on the end. So what I did to attach these, okay, I'll back up. What I did, this piece here that is what the banner is going to be made of is this. So this is in the Holiday Mini. It is irregular weave trim. You can see that. And what it looks like, kind of looks like raffia or straw. You know, it's a natural looking material, but I thought it looked a lot like spider webs if it was black. So guess what we can do with just about any of our embellishments, ribbon, pearls, rhinestones, is we can color them with our Stampin' Blends markers. So what I had to do it ahead of time because it does take a little bit to dry. I'm going to show you the end. I left this not colored. Gosh, let me see if I do this. There we go, that's better. So this is the original. This was with the black. It's the dark of the basic black blends is what I used. So I did it once and I let it dry, and then I kind of went over it again because there were some pieces that didn't seem like it absorbed the black as well as other spots. So I did go back over it and made sure that it was all covered. So it's now kind of a nice black gray color and matches perfectly with this banner. So I wanted to leave this part here just so you can see what it looked like. Obviously I'll take that off when I hang it up. And then I just used our black baker's twine and cut little pieces so that we could make the loops to attach each one of these little banner pieces to the actual banner itself. All these terms that I'm using here. So let me just tie this, and I just tied this in a square knot so that it can kind of hang. You can leave them long or you can shorten them up. I didn't want them dangling too much, but I wanted them to be able to hang the right direction, because if I would have just I can't talk and tie a knot at the same time. If I would have just strung the letters and things through, hold on, let me get this tightened up. My square knot didn't go very well. If I would have just put this right through the holes, the banner, these would have turned whatever direction I ran them through the hole. So I needed something to have them hanging so that you'll be able to see the letters straight on when you have it hanging. So that is the little banner that I did, and I did spooky because I have a perfect place that I'm going to hang this. I had purchased our haunted house kit last year and made that, and I have a little table in my foyer by my front door, and I had put that on the foyer, and I've got a place that I can hang this right above where I'm going to put that haunted house back out for Halloween this year. So this is my banner. It's going to hang. I'll take a picture and have it that part in the PDF for you so that you can see what it looks like hanging. But you can see, obviously I did all the letters and I popped those up on dimensionals, and then I've got the little pieces of the spider web, and then a bunch of different spiders. You could certainly do these in different colors. You know, do white spiders or black spiders or gray spiders or different colored spiders. You can make them sparkly spiders if you use glimmer paper. So there's so many options with this banner, and you could spell out different words. Of course, you could do Happy Halloween. The other one I thought of was just doing a smaller one for my office that said boo. So I might have to do that one later this fall. But that is my banner, and it goes together pretty darn quickly. Once you kind of know what you want to do, you can kind of do it in an assembly line. I stamped, both the greens at the same time, both the oranges at the same time, both the, that sort of stuff, and then cut out all the different pieces at the same time. And I basically used up scraps for the black because we all have those little pieces of black paper kind of laying around. And even the letters are small enough that I had scraps to use up, that I was able to use that. And the ink is pretty fun too. I would say, to make it not quite as messy, to do it on adhesive sheets rather than using the glue and the sponge, but the glue and the sponge works absolutely perfectly too. So sorry, this is a short one, but I didn't feel like you needed to see me do multiples of these little tags, because they actually do come together pretty quickly. And if you have any questions, please let me know. And I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm the last person on Sunday, I believe. So enjoy the rest of your day today, and we'll start back up with the remainder of the 12 days of holidays on Monday, tomorrow. All right, I hope you have a wonderful day, and thank you for joining us. Take care.